Meanwhile, in Epiphany,
when we last left our heroes, they were gathered around the manger, adoring the newly born Jesus. As we know, that's just the beginning of their story.
But just as Luke's journey continued after he destroyed the Death Star,
The what star?
the saga continues 12 days.
And a couple years after that scene in the manger,
We stayed with them, for good measure. I'm the angel Gabrielle, and he's Gabriel. As any parent has experienced, Mary and Joseph have had their own adventure raising baby Jesus.
Midnight diaper changes, fear of infant mortality, constant comparisons from the neighbors about how their son potty trained sooner or how their daughter slept through the night.
Or how their son walked to Grandma over Passover vacation. Through it all, we were with them, sharing God's comforting voice in the most trying of times. Especially the time when Jesus...
We promise not to tell.
Never mind.
we catch up with our friends as Jesus is grown and loves working in Joseph's workshop, or helping Mary change James's diaper in their home in Nazareth.
You see, their family of 5,
3.
3, thank you, grew so quickly that they chose to continue gentrifying their most established neighborhood rather than move to the suburbs as many of their friends did.
So here we are, helping and working and living and being a growing family in a small hill town in northwestern Israel.
Meanwhile, about 25 parsa
About 100 miles.
south, the latest from the Herod family, imaginatively named, Herod sits as Tetrarch of Galilee and is very insecure ruler and a little crazy.
We have come seeking the king.
Well, here I am.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. We're looking for the new king.
It has been a few years since my coronation, but it's me, and you haven't come to see me yet, so I'd be happy to welcome you in court.
We have seen the star in the sky, and it has brought us to this area. We've traveled for years to greet the child king, the new king of the Jews.
Oh, I see. He's gone for some milk. He'll be back in a second. But you all can wait here for now.
Remember the part about the insecurity?
For years we tried to share this wonderful news.
But some people just don't pay attention to dreams.
Okay, so-called learned scribes and chief priests, do what you do in this era and tell me where this impostor is so that I can kill him.
We shall scroll through our most ancient texts. But there's a problem.
And what's that?
Our best book is broken.
Then fix it.
We'll need some goo or some glue to bind the book with the answer.
Glue a book?
Use goo or some glue.
Fine. Whatever. Just glue it.
As much as we tried to distract them, they glued it and then told the Magi where Jesus was.
The family returned to their hill town of Nazareth, halfway between the Mediterranean and the Sea of Galilee.
Imagine if you lived between two ideal and picturesque locations, somewhere completely practical where nothing interesting ever happens.
Kind of like Hemet.
The Magi traveled up the Jordan River Valley, turned left at the Sea of Galilee, through the Valley of the Crescent Moon, then entered this modest hill town of well-meaning and kind people.
You know, kind of like Hemet.
Can you imagine the commotion that this caravan must have caused when these travelers, their entourages,
Okay, kid, don't hurt yourself.
when they entered this modest town?
Excuse me, what's all this?
Our entourage.
Do you mind moving it out of my driveway? I'm trying to get to work.
We shared Jesus' precise location with the Magi that night.
One of us did, because the other visited the dreams of this Polynesian teenager with the idea to seek the heart of Te Fiti.
You're welcome!
Like I said, the next day the Magi descended on the home of the unwitting, wholly unexpecting family.
Hey, a holy family has a nice ring to it.
Our scene unfolds as Joseph is rushing out before the trash cart rounds the corner for morning pickup.
Bring out your trash! Bring out your trash!
Seeing the Magi and their entourage, Joseph drops his bags in astonishment.
Upon entering the house, the Magi adored the child, then spoke.
We have seen the star.
What star?
The star in the sky that foretold the coming of the king.
That was like 3 years ago.
Hey, it takes a long time to travel across the known world.
Fair enough.
We bring gifts of gold.
Wow, that's incredibly generous.
Frankincense.
Well, okay, thank you.
And myrrh.
Now, that's just weird.
After seeing the star,
We have travelled in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Can he please hold still?
No.
We've travelled from across the known world to meet here at this time for this moment with your son. Because of ancient voices calling throughout the years of your son's royalty, can he please sit still?
Toddlers. Gotta love them.
We three Magi, having heard the ancient voices calling throughout the years of your son's rule.
Remember how Herod is very insecure and a little crazy? This next part is why.
That night, Herod solidified his scheme, and his plan moved into action.
We visited the family in their dreams and told them to get out of Dodge.
We visited the Magi too, and told them to take the coast road back home, because what happens next is one of the darkest moments in history.
Like Pharaoh before him.
And too many leaders since.
Herod gave in to his insecurity, and a generation of innocent children was killed.
God still cries when telling this story.
You see, because of
Magi
And shepherds.
And angels.
And innkeepers.
And you.
Billions of people have known about Jesus.
Christmas is when Jesus was revealed to modest locals. Epiphany is when Jesus was revered by astrologers and scientists and scholars and Gentiles.
The outsiders. The rest of us.